For Parineeti, Priyanka sacrifices her dream of reconnecting with Salman on screen. Arjun has finally closed the Sonakshi chapter in his life. Shahid's behavior is troubling his reality TV showmakers. Hey guys, I'm Caitlin and let's get the party started with another episode of 9XC.com The Show.
I'm hot, you're not, I'm a superstar, I'm a superstar. 9XC, 9XC.
Here is a story that will warm your heart. It's a story of sisterly love and sacrifice. Not Frozen, but a Desi one. It's a story of how Priyanka Chopra sacrificed a role for cousin Parineeti Chopra. It all began when poor Miss Pari's career was tanking, which it currently is. If you remember a few episodes ago, we told you how Priyanka had given her word to Parineeti that if any good script comes her way, Priyanka might consider producing it under her banner Purple Pebble Pictures. Now Priyanka has made another commitment, a sacrifice actually. Buzz was that she was in the running to do Sultan opposite Salman Khan. Instead, she had a conversation with Parineeti and asked her what kind of role she was comfortable in. When Pari said that she would like to do Indian roles, Priyanka instantly suggested that she sign up for Sultan, where the role, it seems, is rustic. Heeding her advice, it's believed Parineeti called up Salman Bhai and expressed interest in the film. And what was Salman's reaction? Well, he instantly agreed. Word got around to Sultan's producer Yash Raj Films' honcho Aditya Chopra. Adi is also keen on Parineeti since she was launched under his banner. He too wants to see her doing well in her career and wants Parineeti on board. Only thorn in this great story could be the film's director Ali Abbas Zafar. Ali thinks that Parineeti might not be the perfect girl for the role. Parineeti's part in the film came up for discussion just yesterday and the result seems like she's on board. Let's not forget, Priyanka's given up a big, huge opportunity of working with Salman again. The two had a fallout when she refused to be part of Salman's brother Sohail's film Main aur Mrs. Khanna. They had recently patched up and this would be the first time they would share screen space after God Tusi Great Ho in 2008. Was this really a sacrifice or Priyanka Salman haven't really patched up? What do you guys think? Tell us on facebook.com/9XC or tweet us at 9XC The Show with hashtag #WeWantPriyanka Salman. If Salman was more than happy to lend Parineeti a helping hand, he made sure he made life very difficult for Karan Johar. So we were the first to tell you the real reason why Salman has walked out of Shuddhi. He was very upset with Karan for watching from the sidelines as a member of the Khan family was ridiculed during the AIB roast. And how he got back at Karan was refusing to be part of the ambitious Shuddhi. Now 9XC.com The Show has learned that there's another reason as well. Salman, while getting on board to do Shuddhi, had asked Karan to cough up 45 crore as his upfront payment. But it does not end there. Salman also wanted a 17 to 30% share of the profits, subject to realization. And since it's a Salman film, you know that the profits are going to be massive. The conversation happened around June-July last year while Salman was promoting Kick. When Karan went to his CFO, he realized while 45 crore might be possible, the profit-sharing arrangement would bleed Karan's company Dharma dry. Cut to a few months later when Karan visited Salman at his home during his recent court hearings. Karan once again broached the subject of Shuddhi and that's when Salman lost his cool. Salman categorically told Karan, "Why are you wasting my time? You know what you did and you know you won't be able to cough up a star fee to the tune of 45 crore. A shamefaced Karan then had no option but to take on his protege Varun Dhawan for the role. And that's how Salu ended his association with Shuddhi. And want to know how Arjun Kapoor ended his own filmy love story? We're about to tell you. So Arjun had a rocking 30th birthday bash with family and friends in full attendance. But one person missing raised quite a few brows. Well, the 30th birthday is an important milestone for most, and in Arjun's case, many of his co-stars and friends were in attendance, including Ranbir Singh and couple Ranbir Kapoor and Katrina Kaif. Arjun invited Amit Sharma, the director of Tevar, but he chose not to invite his Tevar co-star and alleged ex, Sonakshi Sinha. That's correct, Arjun did bring in his birthday in style, but his on-again, off-again girlfriend Sonakshi didn't make it to the invite list. Sonakshi was very much in town and yet was not invited for Arjun's bash. Why is that? Well, don't keep guessing because 9XC.com The Show has the answer. Arjun was asked by his friends why the actress wasn't part of his big 3-0 birthday bash, and our sources have it that he said he doesn't want to dwell on the past. All he wanted to do right now was focus on his career. When egged on, it seemed Arjun told the people around him that the Sonakshi chapter in his life is a closed one, period. Seems the two have failed to rekindle their passion, making their relationship another footnote in the history of Bollywood romantic link-ups. Arjun and Sonakshi became an on-screen couple for Tevar, but the movie tanked. But it seems the lead couple got close to each other and got romantically involved. When Arjun and Sonakshi made several public appearances and promoted Tevar, the bonhomie was for all to see. Sonakshi occupied the front seat during the debacle of the AIB roast, even as the jokes flew fast and thick about the relationship between Arjun and her. Buzz is that while Sonakshi was looking for a commitment, Arjun was not ready to take the next big step. The two have gone back and forth on their relationship status, and it seemed they even tried to give it another go. But it looks like now Arjun is done with that chapter in his life. Back in the day, Arjun also took off on a motorcycle ride to Goa to nurse his broken heart, and seems the Gunde star is no longer moping about the breakup. Well, here's one actor who's coping with his losses and moving on.
Last evening, veteran actress HEMA Malini, who was travelling from Mathura to Jaipur in her Mercedes, met with an accident near Dausa on the Jaipur highway. Her car collided with an alto on the highway. HEMA has suffered head and nose injuries and she is being treated at the Fortis Hospital in Jaipur. The 4 travellers in the alto car have also been injured. When we spoke to a member of HEMA's husband, actor Dharmendra's team, he told us, HEMA ji is being treated by doctors. Dharmendra ji will fly down to Jaipur. We wish HEMA a speedy recovery.
Sushant injures himself trying to be Dhoni. And we meet again on 9XC.com, the show. He made you fall in love with his soulful voice and you've enjoyed his chartbuster songs on 9XM. But this time, 9XM brings you the man himself. Yup, we're talking about Jeet Singh. We're super proud and extremely kicked about 9XM Dome, Musically Yours, Arjit Live with Symphony Orchestra. This is a first of its kind musical extravaganza in India. Here's a sneak peek into the event that was organized to talk about the show, and this is what went down.
The singer divulged his playlist to his fans. Here are the singer's favorite tunes.
Ustad Bade Khan Sahab, Ustad Rashid Khan Sahab, Ustad Amjad Ali Khan Sahab, John Mayer, Jason Mraz, Michael Bublé, Michael Jackson. Yeah, this is what I remember now. This is all on my playlist.
Arjit himself went on to describe what the 9XM Dome, Musically Yours, Arjit Live with Symphony Orchestra will be exactly like.
This is something which you can say this is a funk meets orchestral. So I have my band which will be playing different arrangement and different songs and different treatment, and the symphony will be there to just pick it up. So that's the concept. It's not exactly how the symphony is sounding.
Well, we are sure all Arjit fans are quite excited about the concert, but here's what the City Lights crooner has to say about what he feels before a concert.
I am scared actually, not excited, because this is not something we have planned and we're doing that. It's something that someday we thought of doing it. Someday we just decided to do something which we can't do, we haven't done before. So this is something which is really challenging for I think every one of us over here. Me, my management, my musicians, all the people associated with the show. So this is going to be a challenge for sure. I wouldn't say I'm excited, but I am more than that, and in a way I'm scared to do it. Yeah.
That seemed pretty strange, right? But seems there is a specific reason for that, and who better than Arjit to explain?
It's actually too much to handle because too many musicians and the overall sound, and we record more than 190 channels on the show. Technically, creatively, we are jacked actually, so we have to keep doing it and hope for the best.
But seems Arjun knows how to take all of this in his stride, and apparently this is how he does it.
डर लगता है स्टेज में जाने के बाद अपने आप सही हो जाता है. It has to be there actually. मेरे गुरुजी हमेशा कहते थे कि थोड़ा सा डर होना भी चाहिए स्टेज से जाने से पहले. So that I think that is required. So कर लेंगे. That's the hope that I have. हो जाएगा.
But that's not stopping the maverick singer from belting out hits and experimenting with new genres. The Ashiki 2 singer was quite kicked about what songs he'd want to do later and spoke about it at length.
I would like to explore classics. I haven't done swing, big band, jazz swing. I would like to explore that. I would, again, we are having discussions with me and Amit. We were discussing about the same thing. Me and Preetham are also discussing about the same thing. I think this is the time we should do classics, and because jazz, big band and swing used to happen like in 60s and 70s. It used to happen. There's a big gap, so I think that's what we should concentrate on.
Bet you guys want to watch Jeet Singh performing live on July 5th at 7 p.m. at the Dome at NSCI SVP Stadium, Mumbai. So what are you waiting for? Book your tickets now on bookmyshow.com. And Sushant Singh Rajput learnt a lesson or two the hard way about how difficult it really was being Dhoni. Sushant is in the thick of his preparations for the Dhoni biopic. He's got the hair happening, he's working on the cool attitude, and of course perfecting Dhoni's cricketing skills. Now one of Dhoni's signature shots is the helicopter shot, where he flicks his wrist in a circular motion and off the ball goes for a 4 or a 6 and dashes the opponent's hopes and dreams. So while Sushant was perfecting the shot at Mumbai's Bhavan's college grounds, something terrible happened. He went down shrieking and was rushed to Nanavati Hospital, a few minutes' drive from Bhavan's college. Sushant was diagnosed with a hairline fracture in his floating ribs. He was out of action for quite a while, and the man who was looking after his recovery was none other than Dr. Ali Irani, who has been the Indian cricket team's physiotherapist. A source told a section of the media. He, Sushant, has been working hard to get into the skin of the character, and in doing so, he fractured his ribs and was out of action for more than 3 weeks. He is being trained by former Indian wicketkeeper Kiran More for the film. Sushant also did some net practice along with Dhoni, who has been helping him perfect his body language and mannerisms. Sushant now is just about getting back on his feet. Well, it's not easy being Dhoni, and sadly, Sushant learnt it the hard way. And here are a few things we learned from the film Guddu Rangila. The Arshad Varsi, Amit Saad and Aditi Rao Haidari star hit theatres, and we checked it out so that you wouldn't have to. Or you could, depending on our review.
What's up? मेरा नाम है प्रबुद्ध दाइमा
And I'm Nafisa Sharma.
और हमने देखी गुड्डू रंगीला.
तो ये कहानी है गुड्डू और रंगीला की, जो
तो फिल्म में है अरशद वारसी.
For me, Arshad Varsi in the movie really worked. I think he's one of the most brilliant actors Bollywood has. Any character he can play, and I loved him in the movie. Amit Saad.
Now we are seeing him in a movie after a very long time. मतलब कायपोचे के बाद अभी गुड्डू रंगीला. Quite frankly, बॉस तुम क्या बीच में मतलब क्या चालू क्या था? मतलब दूसरा पिक्चर कायको किया नहीं इतना टाइम के लिए, क्योंकि तुमने वो पिक्चर में फाड़ा था, ये पिक्चर में भी फाड़ा, मतलब एकदम फाड़ू. Ronit Roy.
You know what I think? I think Ronit Roy, you really need to do more and a lot of movies, because you're brilliantly talented. And he was the only one who had the Haryanvi accent continuously. Yeah. Not one dialogue he said in Hindi, which was awesome. Aditi Rao Haidari.
Remember how I told you Lauren ne Lauren bhabhi ko?
Yeah, I do.
Lauren? Who Lauren?
Who Lauren?
Aditi Rao Haidari, please expect मेरी मम्मी का कॉल आपकी मम्मी के लिए, because आज नहीं तो कल this is happening.
So Mr. Daima.
Yes.
Overall, what did you think about the movie?
I quite frankly enjoyed it in bits and pieces. Climax didn't work for me at all. Like the movie was getting somewhere, and then climax में ऐसा लगा कि अरे अभी हाईवे पे जा रही थी, अभी सर्विस रोड पकड़ लिया. ऐसा एनालॉजी मेरा इतना खास नहीं था, बट जिसको जो समझना है मतलब भावनाओं को समझो.
I quite like that explanation, but I liked the movie. I think all the actors were brilliant, and I think the movie was written well. I think Subhash Kapoor has done a good job again after Jolly LLB. So for me, this movie really worked, and I give it a 350 Friday watch.
क्या बात है? So on the hot slot, I give Guddu Rangila 3 thumbs up,
and I also give it a solid 3 thumbs up. Mr. Daima.
Yes.
Tell me 3 things you learned from the movie.
Number 1, जब हीरो और विलेन की हाथापाई प्रॉपर हैंड टू हैंड कॉम्बैट चलता होता है ना, तभी इट डजंट मैटर द नंबर ऑफ गुंडाज एंड द गोन्स दैट आर शूटिंग एट ईच अदर एंड एवरीथिंग, सब शांत हो जाते हैं, सब दिखते हैं कि दोनों में कौन जीतने वाला है, सब पॉपकॉर्न देते हैं एक दूसरे को।
Number 2, पिछवाड़े में दम नहीं पर हम किसी से कम नहीं।
क्या बात है। एंड नंबर 3, भूत और लुगाई दोनों कभी भी कहीं भी टपक सकते हैं।
तो ये थी हमारी विशेष टिप्पणी ऑन द मूवी गुड्डू रंगीला।
हम आपको मिलेंगे कुछ ही देर में, एंड जस्ट लाइक आर्नल्ड श्वार्ज़नेगर, we too will be back.
Coming up, Ranbir and Katrina have a sweet movie date, but who's Salman's movie buddy? After that break, you've joined us on 9XC.com, the show. So Katrina Kaif recently returned from meeting her family in London. In fact, like we told you on 9XC.com, she was on the same flight as Shah Rukh and his family. Ranbir and Katrina had a sweet movie date a few nights ago when they watched the animated film Inside Out. The two arrived together with friend and Katrina's Fitur co-star Aditya Roy Kapoor. But like most times, Ranbir and Katrina did not interact with the media much and chose to make a beeline for the screening hall. However, they were not alone. They had young stars like Alia Bhatt and Arjun Kapoor for company. Do you think they relived a few moments from Arjun's birthday bash that they attended a few days ago? It's so cool to see that the stars are just like regular folk who go on movie dates. However, they were not the only ones to catch a film that same night. Katrina's ex Salman Khan took Daisy Shah to watch the action film Jurassic World the very same night that Ranbir and Katrina watched Inside Out. The two were spotted at a late night show of the film at PVR cinemas in suburban Mumbai. Daisy's big break in Bollywood was in Salman's film Jai Ho. And even though the movie did not create wonders at the box office, the two have remained friends. In fact, Daisy has gotten so close to Salman and his family that she was also a part of Salman's sister Arpita's wedding festivities last year. Our film buffs caught a show of Second-Hand Husband, and this is what we thought about it.
And we are back, guys. और इस बार हमने देखी
Second-Hand Husband.
So this is a story of a guy who is desperately wanting to get married, but to get married, he has to get his wife married first. इस मूवी में है धर्म पौची.
मतलब, like even at this age, he carries the movie like it's like a 200 ग्राम का ऐसा धनिया. गिप्पी ग्रेवाल.
Now he is a superstar in Punjabi movies. He's a super singer himself. This was his debut in Bollywood, but for me, this debut did not work. Rati Agnihotri.
Short, simple, sweet, graceful.
Mr. Daima.
Yes.
Tell me, what do you think of a movie overall?
Well, let's begin with one thing first. Alright, Ravi Kishan in the movie, he plays a Punjabi man, and Punjabi brother with a Punjabi accent. By far, the second worst Punjabi accent that I've ever heard. Besides that, the movie is not edited well. It's not written well. There are a few comic timings that are done well because of the comedians that are there in the movie, the actors. But it's barely an impressive movie. So on the hot slot, I give Second-Hand Husband 1 thumb up.
And I also give it 1 thumbs up. Mr. Daima.
Yes.
3 things you learned from the movie.
Number 1, एक काना इंसान हर चीज को एक ही नजर से देखता है.
Number 2, लोग कहते हैं कि असली जिम्मेदारी शादी के बाद बढ़ती है, पर नहीं, असली जिम्मेदारी डिवोर्स के बाद बढ़ती है. Yes.
And number 3, Dharmender had this dialogue in this movie called Johnny Gaddar, where he says, "It's not about the age, it's about the mileage," which still stands true for him, boss. मतलब
तो ये थी हमारी विशेष टिप्पणी ऑन द मूवी सेकंड हैंड हस्बैंड.
याद रहे, हम मूवी क्रिटिक्स नहीं, हम हैं मूवी बफ्स.
Coming up, Richa Richa has a new man in her life.
A whole list of big ticket films have been stuck in the pipeline.
Richa Richa's Masan is getting rave reviews all over the world, and seems things are looking up for the gangs of Vasipur actress on the personal front too. Nope, unlike what was believed, Richa's man at the moment is not Fukre co-star Ali Fazal, but a far yummier dreamboat. Looks like Richa met someone special at Cannes while she was there for the screening of Masan. If reports are to be believed, Richa got along quite well with the French actor and director Frank Gustambed. The buzz is that both made it a point to remain in touch even after they reached their respective countries. They have been seeing each other for around a month now. July seems to be the month locked in by the duo to spend some quality time together. Richa is currently shooting for Pooja Bhatt's Cabaret, but she will take a break from her schedule to fly down to Paris for the international release of Masan. And it seems that Richa and Frank will be reconnecting with each other and spending some quality time together. The two have already made elaborate plans to spend the whole week together. So, announcements of prestigious projects have been a part of Bollywood, but sometimes after the initial hoopla, nothing concrete happens. We take a look at some of the movies that were announced on a grand scale that turned out to be duds. One of the most recent of these is Rabta, to be directed by Homi Adajania and Dinesh Vijan, supposed to star Sushant Singh Rajput and Alia Bhatt. While the announcement was on a grand scale, Alia's walkout of the film was as unceremonious as it gets. Apparently, the highway star gave precedence over Rabta to mentor Karan Johar's Shuddhi, in which she is all set to share screen space with Varun Dhawan. Varun and Alia were both introduced to the big screen in Karan's Student of the Year. Things got bitter between Alia and Sushant, and it led to this cryptic tweet from the latter. It's funny how people try to sabotage others' projects for seemingly personal gains. These frivolous stories you do make for a better script than yours. With Alia getting busy with other mega projects like Shuddhi, it seems difficult for her to think about the project anymore. Another big-ticket announcement was the Indian remake of the Hollywood movie The Fault in Our Stars, to be made once again by Homi Adajania. News was that Varun Dhawan and Deepika Padukone would portray the main leads, but Varun has vehemently denied his involvement in the project at various times. Later, the buzz grew that Alia was signed up by Karan Johar, who had loved the movie immensely and wanted to create the Indian version of it. The original Hollywood movie was itself an adaptation of a novel of the same name and was widely successful. With news trickling in about the movie and denials flying fast about the cast, the Hindi remake of The Fault in Our Stars seems to be hanging in the limbo. And it's not just foreign books whose Indian versions are in limbo. Chetan Bhagat's ambitious book Revolution 2020 is finding it difficult to make its celluloid entrance too. Apparently, Chetan was unhappy with the way the film was turning out in the hands of Disney UTV when being directed and scripted by Rajkumar Gupta. Earlier, Rajkumar Rao and No One Killed Jessica star Myra Karan were attached to the project, but later on Arjun Kapoor was supposed to step into Rajkumar's shoes. But seems the movie was a non-starter, and the rights of the movie have now reverted to Chetan, who is also keen on co-producing the movie this time around. But one movie that is known for the longest time to be in cold storage is Shekhar Kapoor's Pani. The movie was announced around 13 years ago and would be the first time Shekhar would collaborate with Yash Raj Films. YRF and Shekhar announced that Sushant Singh Rajput would play the lead, but reports are now pouring in that the movie might be delayed yet again. Last heard, the pre-production and research was still going on for the movie, which is supposed to be based in the future, where water is no longer just a commodity but a valuable asset, and thirst a weapon. Shekhar is a magnificent director, but his films do have a tendency to go a bit haywire. He got the whole sci-fi community and fans in general agog by announcing the sequel to Mr. India. Mr. India was a smash hit and one of the few Indian sci-fi films that went on to gain cult status. The film, starring Anil Kapoor, Amrish Puri and Sridevi, was produced by Boney Kapoor. The Mr. India sequel became all the more important when rumours began that Salman Khan would play the villain of the piece. Bhai made an appearance at Imagica, where the official Mr. India ride exists. However, nothing much has come of the announcement as yet. With no new developments, looks like the Mr. India sequel is one more that joins several in the cans. Even Boney Kapoor is no stranger to films in the cans. While No Entry May Entry, the sequel to his hit No Entry, was announced, nothing came of it. The original was released in 2005 and the success prompted the filmmakers to announce a sequel. But seems Salman does not have dates for the film that starred Anil Kapoor, Fardeen Khan and a host of other actors and actresses. Earlier, Boney had told a section of the media about the status of No Entry May Entry. Whether Salman is a part of the film or not, only he will be able to say. My script is ready, my actors are ready, and everything is in place. We will start anytime, he says. Joining the list of big refusals, Vidya Balan frayed nerves when she refused to work with Sujoy Ghosh in Durga Rani Singh. While Vidya has spoken about her refusing Sujoy's film due to health reasons, it was rumored that Kangana Ranaut was his next choice, but she also turned down the role. Well, we wonder if we will ever see these movies release. Of course, a lot of back and forth is happening over the project, so we never know when something positive might turn up. And with that, it's time to bid you guys goodbye. I'll see you on Monday, which will be a very special episode since it's our 100th. Till then, log on to our site 9xe.com and our YouTube channel. Also download our free 9xe app, and if you want to get in touch with us or generally strike up a conversation, write to us at facebook.com/9xe and at 9xe the show.